experience in IT services, education, animation, e-learning, IoT, and food industry. He is founder of two successful ventures, entrepreneurship enthusiast, and lean startup methodology expert. Other than this, he is helping incubators and accelerators in building world class impact programs for their startups and by training their incubator manager to evolve as startup success managers. He also mentored 30 plus startups in personal capacity in last 5 years. Currently, he is the manager of VFT Network program at Wadhwani Foundation. Now, we request the Honorable Chief Guest to address the gathering and cast the light of his knowledge upon us. His comments are quintessential for the students who want to be like him one day. Sir, you have motivated us all enough by being an example of light in the darkness. We would be delighted with your expertise and knowledge in every way possible. Sir, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. And thanks everyone for joining this session. And I think you've got my introduction, and it's a pleasure to it has always been, pleasure to, interact with students, right? So even in my entrepreneurial journey, I've been majorly engaged with students. So when I started my own venture, it was into e-learning, and we created a lot of content for EduComp, and then we started one for art and animation students. We started one platform. It was completely free, and it was like almost 30,000 registered users were there on the platform. And so interacting with students is always very near to my heart, right? And I think, sir, I would like to understand, all of these students are from your college, and they are doing the
Mostly,
credit course.
some are from our college, some are from outside our college also.
Okay.
They have
And
diversified participant. Yes.
Okay. Diversified participation. Okay, great. So they are already,
Yes, yes,
there are
definitely.
some ventures also.
Yes.
Is there any venture here?
Venture. Uh, I don't think so, sir.
Not sure. Okay. I'm just asking, reason being, see, I would like to, interact or tell the whole thing from the perspective of the audience, right? So maybe I'm not going to use some such terms which probably are not known to the students, right? So today's topic is value proposition and business fit, right? So basically, I I'll, I would like to. So we have just 1 hour. In 1 hour, I would like to take this opportunity and give you a bigger picture, right? And I will focus on the value proposition and business fit, of course. But I would like to give you a bigger picture, and then would like to show exactly where these things will come and how it affect the business, right? So I'll keep it very, very simple as possible, right? I'll not overwhelm you with the jargons and everything which entrepreneurs use, and deal with it every day. I'll try to keep as simple as possible. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. I would like to show you guys something. uh, is everybody is getting these notifications, or it is just me?
No, everyone. Sir. They're trying to join in actually. That's it.
Okay,
I will take care of it, sir. I will take care of it.
sure. Just give me a second. I'll just show our audience something.
Yes.
Mm. is taking a little time. Excuse me, my internet is little slow. It is like taking forever. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Not it, sir.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
It's visible, sir.
So guys, what you are seeing on my screen is okay. So is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So guys, what you are seeing on your screen is, this is very annoying actually, this
Okay.
notifications. No problem. Okay. So guys, what you are seeing on my screen right now is a business model canvas. Okay. And why I'm showing this to all of you is because a business basically consists of all these 9 elements. Okay. And what we are talking about today is the value proposition. Okay. And what is a value proposition? First of all, if somebody like to add or would like to share their views, most welcome. Then I'll start. What do you think? What is a value proposition? Basically, the value proposition is the kind of value your business is going to provide for your customers. Okay. So which means, see, ultimately what is a business, right? See, a business is an entity who solve a problem for a customer, and in return of that solution pays to the business. As simple as that, right? This is the simplest definition. You solve a problem of your customer, and a customer pays the business in return of what you are solving, right? So everything starts with a problem, and value proposition fit actually revolves around around this thing only. Okay. So as I told you, right, a business basically consists of 9 different elements. And if you, like, maybe in future when working in on all these things, right? So like for example, you have an idea. Okay. How you're going to validate that idea? Okay. And where this value proposition will come in picture, right? So let's say you see a gap, you understand there is a problem in the market or a neighborhood, and you think that a lot of people are facing the same problem. Okay, and you, if you think that you can solve this problem, and people would be willing to pay for this solution, okay, then there is a business, right? But a lot of things come later, like how big is the market, how well you can solve the problem, how, is there any competitor, and if you can solve the problem, and if you can beat your competitors, can you solve that problem in a certain cost? Because see, there are some no-brainers, right? Everybody needs a cure for cancer, right? So if somebody, create a medicine, do you think there'll be a business? There'll be a demand? Of course, there'll be a demand, right? People will go crazy for it, right? But that means if there is a demand, and if you can supply according to that demand, there is a business, right? So my suggestion: see entrepreneurship as a solution, problem and solution, in a way where you can see everything as a problem and solution. Sometimes you will see there is a business. If you're buying a chocolate, what is the problem you are solving, right? The craving a customer is having, right? If you sell chocolates, probably you are solving a craving, right? And problems can be different, right? Problems can be of different nature, right? Some problems can be uh, good to solve, right? Yani ki, which means if you get the solution, it is okay. If you don't get the solution, still it is okay, right? There are some pain, right? Pain means you cannot live without that solution, right? Like for example, you need to go to the college, but there is no transportation, right? And then what you need to do is you need to vehicle, right? Because that is a pain, right? Which means without which you cannot, uh, you know, you cannot work, right? And the third kind is a luxury, where it's not a pain, it is okay, but at times you just need it for your own happiness, right? So we call these things a luxury, right? For example, you can use Nano for transportation. You can use a Maruti car for transportation. You can use Range Rover. You can use a BMW car. The the problem this vehicle is solving is the transportation, right? But for different cost, different purposes, different users, right? So just having four wheels and transportation is not key here. The requirement of the customer, the segment of the customer is important, right? So what is the value proposition there for a nano car? Let's come to the value proposition. For a nano car, the value proposition is a small family car, okay, which can carry 3 to 4 people, okay, and it will be under budget for a small family, small income families, okay, or affordable cars for families with low income, right? See, similarly, Maruti car has different segment where there are mid-income people, then high-income people, and extremely high-income people, right? Everybody uses a car, right? Who can afford it, but different segments and different needs. Like Lamborghini, right? You need to pay in crores, but ultimately it's a vehicle, right? Almost the same core problem is the taking people from point A to point B. But what is happening here is the customer is different, right? So the value proposition basically depends on two things. One is the problem, And another thing is the kind of customer who is having this problem. Okay, like for example, you take anything, right? There are always some segments, right, where value propositions actually change according to the customers, right? So let's take an example of food, basically. Okay, as you can see on my screen, the 9 elements I was talking about, that a business model actually works on these 9 elements. And on the extreme left, you can see problem, right? Everything starts with a problem, right? When there is a problem, then you can see there is a solution. And what is the difference between a solution and a value proposition, right? Solution is the outcome, basically, right? Like for example, problem is transportation, solution is a car. But value proposition is something which differentiate the whole solution from one solution provider to another. Okay, getting my point? I mean, if you, like for example, let's say, let's take the example of, here I've put an example of Spotify. Okay, you know, this Spotify is a music app, right? The problem is illegal file sharing hurts the artist, okay, and music companies. Legal music stores or buy individual tracks can be expensive. People want to carry around a lot of songs and typically don't want to use too much space in their mobile phones and devices, right? So what is the value? What is the solution? Legal file sharing through Spotify app. You can do it. Cheap alternative, buy up music. Subscription की जगह आप Spotify app लेते हैं, then you'll get thousands of, in fact, lakhs of songs, right? Easily accessible anywhere because it's a cloud based, so no phone memory is used to carry all these hundreds of thousands of songs in your phone, right? But the value proposition is artists can benefit through promotion on Spotify, okay, which means it is not just carrying on the customer side, but the artists also get the value out of it, right? And consumers and customers can benefit from instant access, right? So this is the value proposition, right? So one second. Okay. So what I'm trying to convey here is that you can see value propositions as a part of the solution, but depends on the customer. Okay, which means it depends on the customer what value you are providing. And see, here you can see on my screen that unique value proposition is written over there, right? So in this segment, what is so unique about this particular solution? Okay, there can be more value propositions here, right? Like for example, new releases, right? As soon as something releases internationally, and you'll get the access, right? Value proposition. Music lovers would like to hear the songs immediately, right? And they would like to have it whenever it is released. They would like to get the first experience as quickly as possible. Can be a value proposition, right? For example, a competitor having this value proposition and Spotify is not having, right? So probably the customers who would like to hear these songs as soon as they launch can become the competitors' customers, right? Because that application is providing that value proposition, and that is a unique value proposition for them, right? So can be a game changer for a company if they understand what their customer want, right? So what I'm saying is, if somebody understands that and bring it to the table, right? So they get the benefit out of it, right? Now, practically, right? Practically, if you just take a minute, right, and think about a or maybe, see, everybody thinks about business, right? When I was in college, I used to think about starting this, starting that. Even I started one, when I was in college, I started one website for engineering colleges, right? So I started this website, Planet Engineers, right? The job was, uh, when I went for the counseling, right? And I was, I had no clue in which college I am going, right? Because uh, there was no such facility available on internet at that time, right? I'm talking about in 1999, where people were not that friendly, and websites were not that great. So people used to visit colleges, right? They used to visit, see the campus, see what is happening, meet, used to meet counselors and everything to understand what is happening inside the college. So I went through a lot of problem while choosing the college, which college I should go, this, that. So when I was in third year, I decided to create this website called Planet Engineers, right? So so that people can see what is happening on the website, in the colleges, what is the how the campus is coming and everything. So that was my idea. But later, because I was a young chap and I had no clue about the business and the competition, and suddenly the technical university started their own portal, and I said, okay, now my thing is uh, absolute, nobody's going to come on this thing, this, that, and we stopped, right? Now I think, after all these years, I think that I made a big mistake, because I had a great idea and I could have easily compete with the government portal. But I was a kid, I had no clue how business work, how competition work, and how I could have created more value on my websites more than the competitor, or the university portal, and could have done better and earned the revenue also, right? So anyways, the point is, if you think that you have an idea, right? Entrepreneurship is all about idea initially, but later, in later stages, the idea becomes 1%, and execution becomes the 99%, right? So if I take my own example, I had a great idea in college, right? I could have built a huge revenue out of it. Now I can imagine that, I can understand that, but at that time, my vision was completely narrow. Okay, so the question is, if you want to become an entrepreneur, right, and if you have an idea, the first thing is to nurture that idea. Just don't sit on that idea and give up. At least nurture it, at least talk about it. And especially, guys, people, especially students, when I was in college, and initial days, I used to hide my ideas, right? I'll tell you why it is okay to share the ideas. Because you know not everyone can execute it. If it is your idea, you are the one who owns it, you are the one who knows the details of it. But it is okay to share the ideas. Number one message I would like to share with you, all of you, that share your ideas without fear. Okay, nobody is going to take your idea and convert it into a big business, and nothing's going to happen, right? Because if the idea is yours, you know the integrities of it, you understand what it is actually, right? So nothing to worry about it. And another thing is, first nurture the idea. Okay, talk about it, talk to people, and always think, the next thing is, always think what problem this idea is solving. Okay, first is nurture, absorb that idea, sleep over it, and see if the idea is still exciting you, still keep on coming in your head and giving you sleepless nights. Okay, then I think it's a great thing that you nurture it, you start thinking about it and start talking to people who is having that problem, right? Because having an idea is something that you can solve, or you can create, and you can help or do something and build that thing, right? So what you can do is, like, for example, take any example, in fact, and think about it. I just think about an idea which probably मुझे लगता है, what I personally feel is everybody, especially when we are in college, we think about business, we exams, all this regular things. But at times there are times where we actually sit and think about, yeah, this is a big problem. I wish somebody could have solved it, or I am ready to pay for this thing, or all these people are having this problem. We all go through this, like I've seen at least 10 to 15 people till now in different geographies where they are trying to solve the hostel problem, right? Either hostel problem, and another 15-20 who want to solve the hostel food problem, right? You know why? Because they think it's a huge problem, right? And probably it is a problem, and they can build a business out of it for sure, right? But up to certain level, what I suggest to them, do it. Even it is going to become a lifestyle business where you can survive, couple of others survive. Let's do it. Get the hang of it. Get the real challenges of entrepreneurship. So why I'm telling you this is because when you see, so the hostel guy is seeing room problems, so they think, why don't we find good rooms? And when another batch will come, we will provide those rooms. And when people have food problem in hostels or nearby college or things like that, they think about food, tiffin service, this, that. Very natural, right? Probably you guys have similar ideas. No problem at all. If you think there is a decent amount of number who is having this problem, and you can earn some 10, 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, go for it, right? Because see, sky is the limit, and it's a given actually. If you see closely, all the entrepreneurs actually go start first business, then second business, third businesses also. Very rarely you will see people starting one business and sticking with it all their lives, right? But the mindset is very important, guys, and nobody can teach you the mindset, right? What I'm showing you on the screen is a mindset, and which can be understood once you actually take a plunge and become an entrepreneur, right? But now at this stage where you're a student, you are not a entrepreneur yet, the good thing to understand is, which is I think which is helpful if you want to try it, is that understand the customer's problem. Okay, understand your customer's problem and build on it. First of all, take a plunge. You cannot just keep on writing ideas on your notebook and leave it. Okay, try it. And
Naved sir,
yeah,
Naved sir, excuse me. Sorry for interrupting. The slide actually shows only the link and was Spotify.
yeah.
You've not changed it, right? Because I just
No, I'm not changing it. Actually, I'm
okay.
On the top 3
Okay.
section.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So what I'm saying is, guys, understand whatever idea you have, right? I think you should focus on it, take it to the next level by talking to your customers, probable customers, and people who are having this problem. You think that people are having this problem, and try to build build a solution out of it, right? And why it is important to talk to the customers? If you talk to the customers and 6 out of 10 people are saying that they would like to, use your product, or it is going to be great if you'll come up with this service. That's kind of a validation, basically, right? And validation, post the validation, you can, try with a smaller version of whatever you're thinking, right? Smaller version. Don't put a lot of money, but yes, you can try with a small POC, where proof of concept, where you can build something more manual, less technical, and at least usable for your customers, right? So that is the way how you can go for it. And see, if you start understanding your customers, probably you will be able to build a better value proposition for you, right? So value proposition is not just for you, it is actually is for your customers. And when customers start seeing the value proposition, right, value in your business, actually they start paying, right? So getting your first paying customer is a big achievement, actually. And I can tell you, only an entrepreneur can understand that feeling when you get your first customer and they give you your first rupee, right? It's a great feeling, because then you actually understand that you can generate revenues from your idea, actually, right? And it takes a lot of hard work, to be very frank. Idea is just 1%. It is all about 99% is the execution. Okay. So now I'll talk about a little bit of the other side, which is the market side, market, right? Probably I'll talk about the product market fit. So under product market fit, there is a couple of things, right? Which is first is the traction, right? Early traction. Then comes the go-to-market strategy, and brand awareness. Okay, so what is all these things, right? Ultimately, when you create a POC, you have to go to the market and you create your MVP. So what is POC? The proof of concept that everything is working. And what is an MVP? MVP is a minimum viable product. Okay. And what is a minimum viable product? Which means all the parts of your value proposition or your solution is in place, which means the skeleton is there and it is in a working model. Okay. And once you reach to the MVP, right, then you start building, you start reaching to the product market fit, right? What is a product market fit? Basically is like you have an MVP, okay, and market needs a certain kind of a service, right? And you can build over it. Build over it means refinement, right? Rome was not built in a day, but the skeleton was there. You build the skeleton, core requirement of your customer, and then you build the features, you build the solution better, and you keep on doing it better and better and better. And all it takes is that you build something, you measure what is happening, and you learn from it, and you build it again. Not build it again completely, but you build on top of it, right? Which means you build something, you learn from it, you go back to the customer with a better product. That's how it works, right? So it's a small loop of build, measure, learn, and which comes in the product market fit, right? So initially, when you start with a problem and everything, POCs, you do a lot of research, you talk to a lot of customers, but this product market fit is a very critical stage, and a lot of entrepreneurs fails here. right? And reason is they actually miss how to interpret the signals, right? So that is why this is a very critical point where you build the product, you measure it, you learn, you go take it to the market, come back, see the feedback, see what is happening, see your competitors, understand your customers, and make some changes, right? So in this uh, another thing is the go to market strategy, right? And when it comes to product market fit, ultimately there is a product which is at your end and there's a market, right, which is outside, right? So taking the product to the market, it requires a strategy, right? We call it a go to market strategy, right? And how it works, basically you can see on the screen, right? So now you say that on the extreme right, you can see that customer segments, right? Which means there are one or two types of customers who are going to take your product, right? So see the problem, the solution, and the unique value proposition, everything is for whom? A customer. Customer is king. Everybody heard this, right? Customer is the king, right? So how GTM works, right? First, you create your solution based on the problems you understand. You talk to your customers. You build value proposition for whom? For your customers. Extreme right? And when you build the go-to-market strategy, now the question is how you are going to capture your customers, right? Which means you have a solution now, okay, and you understand there is a problem, and you understand there's a market, right? Like market is what? The opportunity, right? For example, and there is, I don't want to use the jargons, but there is a Tam song which is a total market. Like for example, you're a food business, right? What would you say? I have a I'm a food business, so the whole world is my customer, right? Right? No, the whole world cannot be your customer. Reason is you cannot reach to the whole world, right? So then comes the addressable market. Addressable market means where you can go practically, okay, and serviceable market, which means if you go practically to these many people or these many areas, how many you can serve, basically, right? You cannot serve to crores, probably you can serve to few hundreds, and probably few hundreds are interested in your food, right? Because see, if you open Zomato or Swiggy, you can see hundreds of restaurants, but not everybody is not going to those restaurants, right? There is a certain kind of people, certain kind of a customer persona who likes to eat that food on a particular day, right? That makes that food business running, right? You don't eat outside food every day, right? But there are thousands of people, and people every day, somebody likes to eat outside or that kind of a food, right? So you need to understand what kind of customer you have and what is the volume of those customers, right? Then comes the, based on the go to market, right? Then comes the strategy, how you're going to reach those customers. Okay, so customer is out there, okay, and there is a problem. How you going to reach those customers? It's a big question, and a lot of people fail here because they don't understand how to build that strategy where and customers, right? So how we do that? First of all, we create personas, right? So if you have an idea and if you think you can solve this, people have this problem, talk to your probable customers. Also, I would like to say that understand the persona. I'm giving you a trick here, okay? How you can understand and differentiate who is your customer and who is not your customer, okay? What is the trick? The trick is, like for example, I'm a food business, okay, and what I sell is I sell milkshakes and burgers, right? Do you think a person with a person in a age of 60, 70 is my customer? Probably yes, but percentage would be very, very low, right? So who is my customer? Probably a young chap, okay, would like to eat on the move. He'll take my milkshake and one burger, and just he'll move and keep on eating and go to his college or school or whatever, right? Which means I can create a persona. So for product market fit, uh, you know, understanding the persona of the customer is very, very important. Which means you understand what is the age group, male, female, if it matters, doesn't matter most of the time, but what is the age group, what kind of ticket size, which means if I make great burgers for college students, I cannot keep it for 300 rupees, right? Because my persona cannot afford it, right? And if you want to keep 300 rupees, probably you are serving to the wrong persona, right? So understanding the customer is very important. Why it is important? Because end of the day, if you want to sell your product to this kind of customer, you need to reach out to them, okay? And then comes the very important part, which is, you can see here the channels, right? You can see the channels. What are channels? See, there's a problem, you have a solution, there is a value proposition for a customer persona. You understand where he lives, which area you want to serve. This is your serviceable market. Now, how you can reach to your customer is a very big question, right? Then comes the channels, right? What are the channels? Channels can be, like, for example, again, I'm take a food example. I can put a hoarding, okay? I can send a lot of pamphlets, okay? I can promote it on food websites. I can promote it at different offices. I can probably also do a social media campaign, okay? And I can also hire some influencers, right? So you can see how many channels. One kind of a customer for one business, you can see there can be a lot of different channels, and depends on different businesses, right? Like for example, if your business is dealing with people who are sitting in a government office, right? Do you think running a social media campaign is going to give you a lot of hit on Instagram? Probably on Facebook, but not Instagram, right? So understanding your customers, and the GTM is all about, and again, I'm what I'm going to tell you is a big understanding which can help and your business in future, is understanding who is your customer. It is okay, understand who is your customer, but understand where are their eyeballs. You know what does that mean? Where are their eyeballs? Means, in early days, see, people used to just advertise in newspapers, and when they start getting a lot of traction, they try to go to the television, right? And we all know all these newspapers and television ads, they're an expensive business, right? You cannot, not everyone can afford it, right? But when you understand which means, in early days, all of us used to see one channel, Doordarshan, then 3 channels, DD and another Metro, then another channel, Z, then another channel, then news channels. Everything was earlier used to come in one channel only. At one time, songs, one time programs, one time movie, one time news. Now for everything we have different channels, right? Point is, you should know who is your customer and where are their eyeballs, which means what they are engaging with, right? I don't see young people these days reading newspapers. What they do is, if they want to read the news, they just go to a news portal, okay? Or they follow some pages on Instagram and just swipe it and see what are the headlines and all, and then just and they can just do it on the go. But if you see your parents, right, they will still, get a newspaper every day, maybe two newspapers, one in regional language, one in English, and then they open it and read it with easily sit for half an hour and read the whole thing, whatever interests them throughout, and they at least read all the headlines or top lines, right? Why? Because if I want to capture these persona, right, I would like to definitely go to the newspaper, right? So if your customer is a young chap and he is not using Facebook, and he's using Snapchat, right, and he's using all these cool applications these days, right, or he's on different gaming applications, then if you want to propagate something, you need to understand where they are looking, and then post your ads, find your influencers where you want to sell those personas and where your customer is looking at, right? For example, I'll give you a very good example. Red Bull. Everybody knows Red Bull. I'm sure everybody knows Red Bull, right? And this company is one of the highest revenue making companies in the world. Right? And you know what? Red Bull is famous, and Red Bull is number one energy drink in the world, right? And the next one is the Monster. Great companies, great products. And there is another product in Indian market, Sting, right? All three of them, Monster, Red Bull, Sting, all three of them are energy drinks. Okay? Red Bull you'll get in 125, Monster 110, and Sting in 20 rupees. Just 20. Energy drink, all three. Reason is they are targeting different customers, different geographies, and different pocket size. Red Bull can actually sell their product at 10 rupees also if they want, right? But they do it on because that is the kind of positioning they are having. So I was giving you an example about the market, how you put the market. So Red Bull, you can see Red Bull in F1 races, right? F1 races is the most expensive sport. I hope you all know this, right? F1 racing is the most expensive sport in the world, and it gives you a great amount of money also, and people earn amazing revenues out of it. And Red Bull owns one F1 team. आपने देखा होगा, probably have guys seen Red Bull on the F1 cars, right? You know why? Because they know what kind of people love these kind of sports. So Red Bull is all about, if you see around the world, not just in India, around the world, all the adventure sports, you can see Red Bull there. You know why? Because they know that the kind of customer they want to sell Red Bull watch F1 races, they watch skiing competitions, They watch diving competitions, they do adventure sports, they do all lot of crazy stuff, right? So that is why Red Bull decided to sponsor all these things, all these sports where adventure is there, because they want to position themselves as a energy drink for high energetic people. Simple, right? So that is why they own all these things. So they can put a hoarding, right? The kind of money they can spend in F1, probably they can put hoardings around the around the world, right? But no. Why? Have you ever seen Red Bull hoardings? No, because they know every penny they have, or they want to invest in marketing, they understand their customers so well. They put their money in places where they feel that their customer is watching, right? So then comes the 1 second. Sorry, guys. Sorry guys, my system is actually very slow. So you can still see my screen, right? Yeah. So then comes the, I mean, it's a little higher level. What I'm going to say now is brand strategy, because you guys, I'll give you a brief intro what the brand strategy is, right? So basically, there are products in the market and there are brands. Okay. Probably, when you wear a clothing, right? This is a product and this is a brand, right? I mean, whatever you wear, right? If you are wearing something like for example, you are wearing Zara, right? It's a brand, right? So how people become brand actually? It's a brand strategy. What is brand actually? Brand is with a logo, with the name. People just buy it by the name. That is a brand, right? If you are a company who I mean, uh, in fashion world there are we people call it labels. Okay, people wear labels, especially in Western countries. What is a brand and labels? Basically, when you trust the brand, you trust the organization, you trust that particular company so much, and people follow that brand blindly, at least for the quality, right? Or the design, right? I mean, if you go to Zara, let's take an example of Zara, right? If you're wearing something which is a little odd, okay, and when you find it, okay, this is looking a little odd, but when then you see that this is a Zara product, suddenly your mindset will change. You'll think that probably I don't understand it. Okay, probably I didn't get what this design means, what this color means, because it's Zara. I think it's cool, right? And people uh, are ready to pay the of the brand, right? Everybody does that. I do that. You guys do that, right? You buy Skechers, you buy Nike, you buy all this. Hello. Okay. Now I'm audible? Okay. Thanks, Ranjan. Yeah. Okay. So I think time is over, but in the end, I would like to tell you one thing in the end is, see, entrepreneurship is, you cannot learn entrepreneurship, and you cannot you know become an entrepreneur or a startup overnight, right? But the smaller steps, what I tried today to do is to take small steps. Okay, understand what is a value proposition. Value proposition is nothing but what makes your product sellable. Okay, and what makes a product or your solution valuable to your targeted customer. Okay, and what market fit is, product market fit is basically how you can take your product to the market. Okay, if you have one product which can be anything, music, whatever, right? But understanding your customers and utilizing the channels, understanding where your customer is there and what kind of customer you are uh, reaching out to sell your product, and use those channels to reach out to those customers and make your sales. Okay, see, it cannot be entrepreneurship cannot be, it is like swimming, right? You cannot just practice on the sand and jump in the ocean. All you need to do is step in the pool, or step in a small pond, try what you understand, and then go to the bigger ocean, right? That's how entrepreneurship work, right? So, which means, if you have an idea, validate it, talk to your prospective customers, try to build value propositions for your customers, and then take it to the market. That's the bottom line.
Thank you, sir. Have any queries? Please feel free to ask to sir.
Yeah.
It was very impressive session, sir.
Yeah, but it
With
was
all
a
those-
complete monologue
Yes, sir.
for an hour. So I would like to hear if somebody is having any queries or something that I can answer.
So I have one query. Like, can
Sure.
MVP be a video? Can MVP be a
MVP
video? Be a video?
video.
Yeah.
If video is
No, a video which explains the actual process or something.
that is a concept. A video can be a
Yes.
video is an explanatory video, can be a concept.
Okay.
But MVP is something when you have a working model.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Then almost it's equivalent to a solution demo. Something kind of
Yes.
it.
So MVP is a minimum viable product, right? Which means, like,
Yeah.
for example, you are building a car, at least MVP is having an engine, 4 tires, and a steering, right?
Yes.
Maybe it is not having the body, the mirrors, the whole thing, or that kind of a design, but at least all these minimum things which
Yes.
runs the whole thing is the MVP.
Great. Great. Students, if you have queries,
Anybody?
feel free to ask, sir. I really enjoyed the session, sir.
Anybody else who would like to ask a query or anything related to what we discussed today?
Sir, can we establish any this kind of marketing strategy for agricultural products, whether it is possible, sir?
Definitely. See, ultimately, see, for agriculture products, who is the customer? Farmers? Is the farmers or the consumers? I mean, agriculture products uh, can be two types, right? One is
Yes, sir.
for the farmers, and probably another agricultural product for the consumer, right?
Yes, sir.
So based, like, even if it is for farmers, right, strategies can be made, right? Like, for example, one of my portfolio companies, she's a biotechnologist and created some great products into agriculture, right? And who's their customer? Farmers. Farmers are not on social media, right? But
Sir, that is the problem.
yeah, but how I helped her to create a go to market strategy was, again, think where are the eyeballs, and eyeballs were, these farmers used to go to some village level meetings, right? Or there is these government agencies who provide free manure, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we said, okay, let's work with these government agencies, panchayats, and influence them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
everybody is influenced by something, right? All we need to understand what are they are influenced with, right? And then influence the influencer. Simple.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
See, if there are no queries, we can.
Sure.
Artik,
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech and sharing your knowledge with us. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Farhan, first year IEB.
Greetings to the Honorable Chief Guest, faculty members, and my dear young entrepreneurs. It's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks.